story from the 2001 summit meeting. He says he was trying to persuade Putin to agree to so-called parallel consultations. The idea was to proceed with the return of Habomey and Shikotan Islands while continuing talks on the two remaining islands. Mori says Putin thought hard about his proposal. Putin said he would sleep on it. He and Putin spent 2 hours in Irkutsk. They were an hour behind schedule. Mori says he told Putin he was suffering from a progressive cancer and was thinking about stepping down. He told Putin he had a secret he could only share with a trusted friend. He said he planned to resign after returning to Japan. And Putin was stunned. Mori says he told Putin he had cancer and needed surgery as soon as possible, so he'd quit after returning to Japan. Then, Putin said his plan was to get things done with you, Yoshi. Putin said it was extremely regrettable and sad. Japan's relations with Russia have been difficult over the past few years. They were hurt by former President Medvedev's visit to Kunashiri Island, among other incidents. Medvedev says he would not make any concessions on the territorial issues. He said giving up even an inch of the land would be dangerous. He said it might lead to the breakup or collapse of Russia. But Putin has returned to power and shown a willingness to solve the dispute. Here is Putin in March of last year. He says he wants to seek a solution acceptable to both sides. Japan and Russia should seek a compromise that both can accept. It's like playing for a draw. Of course, he says Putin said he would sleep on it. Has time stopped since then? Mori says his concern is that the Russian Foreign Ministry may suggest discussing the issue from scratch. Of course, she says, if that means going all the way back to the pre-Irkutsk Accord, Mori says Russia may even go further back. They may return to the assertion of the Soviet era that there is no territorial dispute. He doesn't know whether Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has that intention, but Russia's foreign ministry remains obstinate and headstrong, and Putin is struggling to find ways to soften them up. Mori says Abe shouldn't expect too much. He should try to get to know Putin's personality. Abe's father, Shintaro Abe, made painstaking efforts in dealing with Russia. There was a time of reform in Russia. There was the Cold War between the US and the Soviet Union, and Abe's father worked hard to bring peace to the world. Mori says when Gorbachev visited Japan, Abe's father was very ill and his days were numbered. He was fragile and about to collapse as he shook hands with Gorbachev at his official residence. Abe was there to support his father, so he knows that very well. Mori says he told that story to Putin when they met recently. Okoshi says both Putin and Abe have returned to power. They have a responsibility to get things done. They can't let the opportunity slip through their fingers, and Mori says that's very true. It's important to let Russians know that Japan is not about to switch leaders again, and Abe will do his job.
Disputes over sovereignty cannot be resolved without the true trust between leaders, as such issues require the top political judgment. Meanwhile, there is need to carry out economic diplomacy, protect national interests, and also build security cooperation. Modi was emphasizing that such cooperation could have never been so important as today. There are different views over the island issues, but Russia and Japan need to become close both geographically and diplomatically. This would help resolve the territorial issues, and this is the view of Mori, who has worked hard to improve the bilateral relations.